What's up guys? Today I'm here with Abraham and we're going to be reacting to another Noah Kagan video. This one is about how Elon Musk made his first $1 million. So Abraham, do you know how Elon made that first $1 million?
I have no idea. I was just assuming he came out of the womb with $1 million. And I didn't know how he made it or how it happened, but he just seems like a guy that was always had a lot of money.
Yeah. Now, do you know how much money he's worth right now?
No, but I know he's like the richest guy in the world or up there.
Yeah, he is up there. I don't know how much he has right now either, but he is up there.
That number is so big, I don't even know how to calculate it.
All right, so I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, let's see what happens.
Elon Musk's net worth is $168 billion, making him the 7th richest person in the world. I was actually curious though, how did Elon make his first million and how old was he? What we uncovered is crazy. One story involves him running a nightclub with his mother.
I think this video is a little bit older because I don't think he's the 7th richest person. I think he's like in the top 1 or 2 right now. But let's see. It's cool to see how he went from the 7th to like the number 1 or 2.
Elon was born and raised in Pretoria, South Africa. Okay, my accent's good, but he had an engineer father and a model mother. Man, that sounds great. Musk also had a huge love for books and would read 10 hours a day. He literally ran out of books to read at the library and ended up reading the entire encyclopedia.
He read the entire encyclopedia. You know how many books are in the encyclopedia? You guys probably don't know now because you guys are so young. You probably don't even know what an encyclopedia is.
No.
Now everybody uses Google. But like I remember growing up, I had like a bookshelf like full, and there was just books, but like every single thing was like. Yeah, I don't think that encyclopedia is a thing anymore.
Yeah, when I was in elementary school, we had encyclopedias. But then when I moved into middle school, that's when we stopped having them. But I did use encyclopedias.
It's probably like they probably had them just for show, not really to use.
No, we used them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was cool.
You know, I probably wouldn't have started programming if it wasn't for video games.
Nice. It's always funny, things like electronics and games are what people get into programming and changing the world. He wanted to learn how to program his own games, which led him to getting an early Commodore computer. And the time he used to devote to daydreaming and reading books, now he carried that into computer programming, completing a 6-month programming course in 3 days. So what's wild is that he grew up in South Africa, and at the age of 12, I'm trying to do a South African accent, he created and sold his own video game called Ballastar. You guys will see it on screen here, which he sold to a PC magazine for $500.
Never heard of Battlestar?
No.
You never heard of Battlestar?
No.
You ever heard of it? Yeah, no idea. But that's cool that he made a game and was able to sell it.
This is the first product Musk ever sold at 12. The first product I ever sold was actually ninjacard.com. It was a discount card I sold to about 5 different campuses in California. Ended up making 50,000 bucks. So big thing for anyone out there, just get started selling and make things that you're excited about.
That's what I did when I was younger. I just bought and sold stuff. Like it's all kinds of stuff. You know, started with candy, but then obviously sports cards. But just getting in the habit of buying and selling stuff like puts you in that entrepreneurial like mind, and it just grows from there.
So one thing for you, especially if you're older and you're like, hey, I've got no good ideas, I don't know what to do, you can learn from Elon is what did you do as a kid that you really enjoyed? Was it computers? Was it space? Was it horses?
That's really big what he's saying. Figure out what you enjoy, what you're good at when you're younger, and figure out ways to make a lot of money on that. And then, you know, from there it expands to all kinds of other stuff. I mean, that's what I did. Most of the successful people I know, that's what they did. They figured out what was a way to make money on all the stuff that they liked, enjoyed, and had a really passion for.
If you like Elon Musk and want to see how he's going to get to his first $1 million, use that finger and hit that like button for me.
What's really cool about Noah Kagan is that every single time I watch his video, he keeps telling people to like and subscribe to his channel and his videos, make comments. So what we did on this video, instead of me always having to say it, because I always forget, I never say it, we just put it right here. So it's pretty easy. But yeah, I need people to comment more on my videos so I know what other videos to make, and that's what I'll end up making.
This is now he's getting to his teenage years, or we're calling it lumbering. So after leaving South Africa in 1988, Musk actually spent time doing weird-ass jobs in Canada. So Elon actually visited an unemployment office and he said, what is the highest paying job that they had? And it turned out being a job cleaner at a boiler room of a lumber mill. So that is some of the work he ended up doing in Canada. And he was making $18 an hour wearing a hazmat suit, crawling through small spaces and shoveling residue. So 30 people actually got the same job as him, and at the end of the week, it was just Musk and 2 other men who were able to stick with it. So one thing that I have a lot of respect for him is do hard shit. So sometimes you literally need to get dirt on your face.
I agree with this too, like do hard shit. It makes you appreciate everything else so much more. I see like all the people that were really rich that were giving it to them and didn't have to work for it. Most of them just do stupid shit in their life and they blow it and they don't appreciate it. But the people that are really rich that had to like do a lot of hard work in the beginning and really worked and you know they appreciate it and they understand what it's worth, those are the people that actually end up doing the best. I mean, when I was growing up making money, I mean, I had to sweat my ass off. I did really hard labor, moving shit around, doing this. And that's what made me appreciate the money and, you know, success a lot more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm surprised to find out how hard of labor Elon Musk was doing. I had no idea. I thought he was just always computers and just found his way up.
Yeah, I mean, cutting logs and doing all that stuff, that's pretty hard labor. But, you know, it makes you really appreciate it later on.
Try a bunch of different things. So Elon would have never known how much he hated lumbering had he not tried it. And maybe we would have a great lumber lumbering mill out in Canada. But I think it's great no matter where you're at in your career. Get into the buffet of work. Try all these different things out to find out what you hate and also what you really like.
100%. That's another good thing. You know, I did all kinds of stuff when I was younger. A lot of it I really enjoyed and I kept doing it. And a lot of it I was like, man, this stuff sucks. And I figured out ways to never have to do that stuff again. But it's hard to know exactly what you're going to like or not like until you try it all. So trying all this stuff is good. You know, once you get further along, you're going to realize, look, I need to pay someone or get help to do this stuff because I don't enjoy it or I don't like it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I'm kind of curious. Did you ever try to do technology stuff, like to figure out?
Yeah, I tried, but like I was like not a school person, not like a book smart person. Like it just wasn't for me. So I tried to do some of the stuff, and it was just really frustrating. So in school I would just try to like cheat off people or have people do it for me or pay them. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I do now. I just have all the people basically do it for me.
Okay.
I don't know why you're not allowed to cheat in school, because basically when you grow up, that's what you do. You cheat. You have other people do your work for you. You know, you pay them.
Yeah.
So why can't you do that in school? That doesn't make sense to me. That's another stupid thing about school, but
Just
whatever.
want to lock you in the system.
Yeah.
Okay, so phase 3 of the intro. Now it's starting to talk about how he starts getting into the real business age. So Elon and his brother would read newspapers and find interesting business people to reach out to. This is so cool. So they would take turns cold calling. Hello, it's Elon. I would love to meet with you. And this is what he didn't have a network, just like a lot of you maybe. So Peter Nicholson was the head of marketing for the Toronto Blue Jays and a top executive at a bank. It took 6 months to get on this guy's schedule, but he eventually agreed to have lunch with 2 teenagers who took a 3-hour train ride to meet him. The meeting resulted in Elon landing an internship with the bank. So something for you to think about, what is it that you really want and how persistent are you actually being to get that?
If you really want something and you think it's gonna better your life and it's something that you really wanna do, you've gotta like go all out after it. Like you cannot give up. Like if you wanna go talk to someone, meet someone, do something, you just gotta follow up. Like even now in real estate or in business, I don't get deals the first time I call someone. I gotta like call them like 3 times, 10 times, 50 times, sometimes 100 times before I get that. And you know, getting in that habit of realizing, look, you're not gonna get everything you want the first time is really important, because that's the way life is and that's how you become successful. So again, he was going after what he really wanted, that be this internship with this person, and he spent a lot of time. So yeah, that's another really, a lot of good traits he's doing is, you know, how he probably went the rest of his life, and that's why he got so successful. So these are really good traits for everybody.
I also don't recommend just cold calling to pick people's brains. No one wants their brain picked. But if you actually start helping people and offering them value, something they actually want, that is a better way of them actually being open to wanting to meet with you.
Man, fuck, another great point. Like literally, he's actually saying like really cool things that I haven't heard him say before. This particular point he's saying is, look, if you want to get somewhere in life, you want to get, you know, people to help you and do all this stuff, don't just keep asking for stuff. Don't ask to pick their brain. Don't ask for stuff. Like just start doing stuff for people. Like do stuff for people that you don't have any expectations in return. And the more and more you do for somebody and the more you help somebody, eventually they're going to just end up wanting to help you. Almost everyone that like was at a higher level than me or smarter than me or, you know, further along than me that I wanted to learn from, I would just get around them and just help them. Like I never even asked what they needed help with. I just figured out stuff that they can use, stuff that's gonna, you know, be really cool for them, and I would just give them stuff or help them or whatever it was. And ultimately what happened was, over a week or months or many months, they would realize, look, this guy is just helping me for no reason. Like he's just out of the goodness of his heart. He's a good person. Let me help him back. And that's kind of how I got lots of help from a lot of people that were smarter than me at the time that I needed that help. So that's another really good point to keep in mind. So the other thing is, like, I always have people come to me and they're like, oh, what can I do to bring you value? What can I do to help you? That's kind of annoying, actually. I don't want to answer that. Just fucking figure it out, you know? Like, just do it. Like just someone asking me. I mean, I know they mean well, but like that's what everyone does. Like, be unique. Just do stuff. Don't even ask somebody. Like, that's kind of like another like high level thing that, you know, would be really cool if people understood, because that would get them a lot further.
Phase 5, his college years. So after he actually transferred to University of Pennsylvania in 92, they converted their fraternity house into a nightclub. It was a full-out, unlicensed speakeasy. They'd have as many as 500 people come out, charge $5, and it was an all-you-can-drink with beer and Jello shots. And Elon would actually happily run the parties because he was paying his own way through college. He could make an entire month's rent in just one night. In general though, he was actually quiet and sober, and he would be the one to talk to when the cops showed up. This is even funny. Mom, I hope you're watching this part. His mom, May, even worked the door. She was the coat checker and money taker. Mom, I think you do a really good job at that. And the fun fact is that as the cash piled up in a shoebox, she actually had a pair of scissors handy for anyone who was willing to try a funny business and steal it from her. So rule number 1, don't mess with Mama Musk or Mama Sumo.
So that's another cool thing, actually. I didn't know any of this stuff about Elon, but the fact that he had this house in college and charged people to come and all, it's kind of cool, because is that legal to do that? It's not really legal to do that. He had probably a lot of underage kids drink some, you know?
Yeah.
Because he gave everyone beer and alcohol. And you probably weren't allowed to have all these people come to your house, and you know that many people was probably a nuisance for the neighbors, but he did it, you know. So I did that same type of stuff. I did a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have done, but I tried stuff, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But like if it doesn't work out and you get in trouble, you learn from that. If you don't get in trouble, then you learn how to, you know, to do stuff. Again, he's not killing anyone, but he's doing stuff that's not. So it's cool to see that, you know, all these people, they're not like straight and narrow and just do everything by the book, but they try all kinds of stuff, and you know, a lot of times it works, and you learn from that as well.
I'm curious, how do you feel about the fact that Elon went to college?
I mean, well, he went to college probably because his parents really wanted him to, but he actually went to learn computer stuff. So, you know, I don't know, did he graduate? I don't even know if he graduated.
I believe he did.
He probably did, yeah. So he's probably one of the few people that are super successful like that have graduated. But he went to school to learn a specific thing that he used his whole life. So it makes a little bit more sense because that stuff he learned. But yeah, I'd love to hear more about his college years and see what he learned and what he thinks about it. But he probably didn't have to go as long as he did, but yeah, let's see if they talk about it.
So some key takeaways about this period in his life that you guys can learn for yourself is one, opportunity and making money is everywhere if you want it. It's right in front of you all the time. Can you tour your car? Can you rent out a spare bedroom? Can you go on Facebook Marketplace and sell some things? There is so much ways to be making money out there. You just have to get started today in doing it.
Hey, so what Noah just said is that there's money all around you. You can make money, you know, doing Airbnb, renting out Turo. We just made that video last week, or actually this week we just made that video.
Yeah.
So he's talking about like one of the 5 major hustles of 2023. You can make a lot of money. What he was just saying. Yeah. Make sure you watch that video because it talks all about it.
After he went to UPenn, he went to Stanford to pursue a PhD in energy physics. A few weeks before classes started, Netscape went public with a valuation of nearly $3 billion. Musk was already aware of the business potential of the internet, but at that moment, he realized he's gonna be able to change society forever. So he ended up leaving Stanford just 2 days in.
Wait a second, he just left college a couple days in.
Was that for his post-grad? Oh yeah, so
that was his post-grad.
Yeah, so his post-grad. So he graduated.
He graduated and went to post-grad, and then left after a couple days.
Yeah.
So he didn't even think it was worth it, you know, to keep going.
Potential that Yellow Pages was missing. I don't even know if you guys remember the Yellow Pages in 1995, and this is how we started Zip2. So he saw that they were fumbling around trying to find their pitch and buy a listing in the Yellow Pages. So his company started out as a searchable business directory so users could get door-to-door directions to businesses. Sounds like Google Maps. Might seem obvious at the time to have an online business directory, but this is 95 and the brothers actually had trouble convincing anyone to believe in their idea. And this is wild. When they actually launched the website, Musk only had $2,000 in the bank. So most of their startup costs were covered by their father, who gave him $28,000 to get it going.
Oh, shit. It's almost over and we didn't get to how he made his first million yet.
Let's do this.
What's crazy is Elon still hasn't made any money in these years. In 96, More David Out Ventures invested $3 million in the company, but Musk actually had to hand over most of his shares.
You know what's crazy? So he's talking about in 1996, Elon still hasn't made a million. I made $1 million before Elon made $1 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he just fucking blew past me.
Yeah. What happened?
He just was super smart. He's smarter than me. But yeah, I made $1 million. So I could always say I made $1 million before Elon Musk made $1 million.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
So Musk started to sour at the idea of someone else running his business. So here's some crazy stuff. In 98, the new CEO actually tried to merge with CitySearch. Those guys aren't around. And Musk actually organized a coup to have that CEO ousted and reinstate himself. The plan worked at first, but it actually backfired when Zip2's board turned around and sold the company to Compaq. Damn. So Zip2 deal amounted to $307 million, which is still a great payday. Musk finally became a millionaire, making $22 million. I know you might think, well, they sold for $300. He got less than 10%. So in Silicon Valley, there's dilution. So the more that you get investors, the smaller your percentage is. But hopefully it's a big pie. And honestly, $22 million is still a good payday.
So I guess that's how he made his first million on selling that Zip. So he went from having like really not much money to all of a sudden selling.
Yeah.
So when he got that 22 million, he probably had to pay like taxes and all that stuff, but he still probably ended up with a good chunk. So he didn't just become a millionaire; he became like
A multi-millionaire.
multi-millionaire, like right at the same time.
Elon Musk became a multi-millionaire at 27 years old. So what are some of the key things that we can actually take away from his experience? Number one, go explore the things that interest you, maybe now or things that interested you early on. Is it video games for him, which led to programming, which led to actually creating a lot of really interesting companies? Number two, be scrappy. I love how he threw house parties with his mom, how he saved so much money at Zip2 to actually get things going. I think a lot of us are a little bit too comfortable, including myself. So how do you create some limitations? How do you say, I need to make some money today, what can I actually do about that? And number three, whatever experience you have in your career, if it's good or bad, how do you keep learning and using it like a ladder? All right, I learned this, now I'm gonna go here. I learned this, now I'll go here. And I think that's what he's done so well, taking from Zip2 to PayPal and and beyond to today. And most importantly, that we can learn from Elon that you could do right now is start right now. A lot of us are saying, I need to watch the next video, I need to buy another course, I need to talk to someone, I need to read the book. You don't. And if anything, just get started today and build up momentum to making things happen. If you are not ready to take action, go get some shit done right now today. You're gonna love this video right up here, which will inspire you. I'll see you out there, and I love you. Pew, pew.
This was probably my favorite Noah Kagan video. There was so much to learn. I talked about it already. Let's see what Muggs has to say about the video and what you have to say about Elon Musk.
Yeah, so first of all, at the time of recording this video, Elon Musk is the second richest person in the world, and his net worth is $184 billion, which is insane. And to me, this has definitely been the most value I've gotten out of a Noah Kagan video, and it really helped to put in perspective for me that Elon Musk didn't make his first million until he was 27 years old. And me, I'm kind of young, and sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm kind of moving slow, or I'm not where I should be, but seeing that he didn't make his first million until he was 27 kind of, helps me put into perspective that it doesn't really matter when, it's just about, keep going after it, which he did for a long time. But yeah, I think this was a really cool video.
Yeah, me too. Hey, don't forget, I'm on the road to 20,000, hopefully really soon in the next month or two. Before this video started, I had 13,474 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. But more importantly than subscribing, even more important, make sure you watch all the videos that you find interesting, and make sure you comment, because if you don't comment, I don't know what other videos that you want to see me make. So make sure you comment, like the video, and man, more and more good ones will keep coming.
And hit the notification bell and subscribe. Yep.
You heard it from Muggs.
You heard it from Abraham.
The axe.
The axe. Abraham the axe. Yeah. Great.
All right, let's go. Get back to work.
Yep. Gotta go past Elon Musk.